Welcome to the travels of Mike and Donna. Today we are in the beautiful city of Bucharest, Romania. Bucharest is the capital of Romania. The pictures that you just saw at the beginning were of the cobblestone streets, only they weren't made of cobblestone, they were made of wood. And this is the way people in Romania made their streets hundreds of years ago. They would cut the pieces of wood and arrange them so that the carriages and horses and people could walk over them. Today we're standing in a very important spot in the history of Bucharest, Romania. This is called Revolutionary Square. After World War II, Bucharest, or all of Romania, was under the communist regime, and people didn't have the freedoms that we have in a democracy. Well, in 1989, a priest in a small town outside of Bucharest began to speak against the government and how it was oppressing the people. Well, his ideas caught on among the students, and they began to speak out for their rights. And one night in 1989, there was a revolution right here in this square.
Imagine 250 students right here in this square, all yelling and screaming at the top of their voices, letting people know that they wanted freedom. They wanted to have the same freedom that we have here in America. But they couldn't because they had that dictator and they were under the communist rule. The dictator came out on this balcony right in the middle of all this protest, and he thought the students were in love with him. He thought they really liked him, so he was coming out to talk to them in a kind way. Then all of a sudden he found out that they were getting madder and madder and madder. And they started rushing the balcony, and he knew that they were mad because they were yelling angry things at him. He called in his helicopter to come in, land on top of this building, and he and his wife got in that helicopter and they flew them out of here someplace else so the students couldn't get them. He called in the army to this plaza and started shooting and killing all the students. Hundreds of students were killed in this plaza during that revolution. But he didn't get away with it. The army found out where he was several days after that, and they arrested him, had a short trial, and they executed him and his wife, both of them. And from that day on, the students here and also all the people of Romania have been free. They have the freedoms that we have in the United States, and they love those type of freedoms. Their country is still a little backward, but they have used that freedom to bring that country into the 20th century.
Along this wall, the names are written of the students who lost their lives during that revolution. You can see all of the names, quite a lot of them. Also in this plaza, there's a tall column in memory of the students who lost their lives. You can see it's a big, tall, white column. Go up to the top there. As we move on up to the top of the column, you can see there's a big iron egg-shaped thing. That stands for communist, and the column is pushing through communist. The column stands for democracy, and democracy pushed through communism, and the people got their freedom. You'll notice that at the very top of that there's red paint that people later added as signifying all the blood that was spilt in this plaza. Across the street from the plaza, you'll see a statue of a man on a horse. He was King Stephen, who was king many, many, many years before even World War II. During the time that the communists were in control of Romania, they had this statue torn down and melted the iron that it was made out of and put up a statue of Stalin. But after 1989, after the revolution, the statue of Stalin was taken down, and this statue of King Stephen was put back in its place, remade and put back in its place. It's across from what used to be the King's Palace, which is now an art museum. And we want to show you another unique building. Across the street, there's a building that you'll see the bottom of it looks like an old building, and the top of it is a new building. Well, this is a building that was damaged during the revolution in 1989, and instead of tearing the whole building down, the architecture just decided to make the top of it look like a more modern building. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this little bit of information about Bucharest, Romania, and we will see you at the next episode.
We'll see you later. Enjoy the freedoms that you have.
And goodbye from the travels of Mike and Donna.
Bye-bye.